August 23rd, 2017. It was an ordinary summer day in Houston. The sun was shining in the sky, and people were going about their daily lives. Children played in the streets, workers headed to their jobs, and everything felt normal. But no one could have predicted that in just a few days, their homes and cars would be swallowed by floodwaters. The beginning of the nightmare. Meteorologists and experts had started issuing warnings, but most people weren't expecting a storm of this magnitude. After all, this was Texas. People were used to storm season. But Harvey wasn't going to be an ordinary storm. This was the beginning of a nightmare. On August 17, 2017, in the western Atlantic Ocean, meteorological satellites detected a distinct tropical disturbance east of Barbados. Initially, this system appeared to be an ordinary atmospheric event, but within hours it began to merge and organize itself. The initial wind speed was recorded at 55 kilometers per hour, which was not strong enough to classify it as a hurricane. Instead, it was designated as a tropical depression. However, experts noticed a rapid drop in atmospheric pressure, signaling the first signs of potential danger. The National Hurricane Center, NHC, issued its first warning. This tropical system could strengthen within the next 24 hours. Residents in the Caribbean should remain cautious and take necessary precautions. Yet there was no need for panic, at least not yet. After all, dozens of tropical depressions form over the ocean each year, and most dissipate before reaching land, losing their strength along the way. At the first light of August 18, 2017, meteorologists and satellite images revealed that the swirling weather system east of Barbados was rapidly organizing. What had initially begun as a tropical depression had now started to intensify, reaching tropical storm status. One of the primary and most crucial factors fueling the storm's acceleration and energy accumulation was the warm ocean waters. With temperatures ranging between 29 to 30 degrees Celsius, the evaporating water was feeding the storm clouds, causing them to grow stronger. The moisture rising from the ocean surface was transported to the upper levels of the atmosphere, intensifying the rotational movement at the storm's core. The National Hurricane Center issued its second warning. Harvey has reached tropical storm status and may continue to strengthen in the coming days. Coastal areas in the Caribbean should remain on high alert, and so the nightmare was slowly unfolding. By early morning, the first rains began to fall over Barbados and the St. Vincent Islands, signaling Harvey's arrival. Meanwhile, the ocean waves rose between 2 to 3 meters, crashing onto the shores with increasing force. As the storm's diameter expanded, wind speeds surpassed 65 kilometers per hour. By the afternoon, Harvey's center continued its movement east of Barbados, steadily intensifying. Winds became more powerful, and the tropical rains grew heavier. Now officially named Harvey, this storm was no longer just a harmless weather event. It had begun its transformation into a dangerous natural disaster. On August 19th, the third day of the storm, Harvey continued to grow and gain speed. Meteorologists and satellite images showed that the system rotating at the center of the storm was now more structured and solid. Having reached tropical storm status, Harvey was now more organized and becoming increasingly dangerous. Since the sea temperature was still around 30 degrees Celsius, Harvey kept gaining strength. Another warning came from experts. Coastal areas in the Caribbean should be prepared. This also meant that Harvey's path was slowly becoming clear. It was moving toward the Gulf of Mexico. On the fourth day, as Harvey rapidly moved toward the Gulf of Mexico, it grew even stronger and more dangerous. According to meteorologists and experts, the storm now had a more symmetrical and powerful core, meaning Harvey would survive longer. By absorbing the energy from the hot Gulf waters, Harvey was strengthening even more. The National Hurricane Center issued another warning. Harvey may reach Category 1 hurricane status in the coming days. The southeastern U.S. coastline should remain on high alert. According to forecasts, this meant that Harvey was now almost certain to become a Category 1 hurricane. August 21st, 2017, Day 5, a brief weakening. As Harvey entered the Gulf, it briefly lost some strength due to wind shear and weakened into a tropical wave. This moment gave people hope. Some experts predicted that Harvey would dissipate and no longer be a major threat. But this was a major miscalculation. August 22nd to 23rd, 2017. Day 6. The proof that experts were wrong. As Harvey reached the hot waters of the Gulf of Mexico, it began strengthening at an unprecedented speed. It was almost as if the storm was proving the experts wrong. August 23, 2017, 6 p.m., wind speed 120 kilometers per hour, Harvey officially becomes a Category 1 hurricane. At that moment, the true danger for the U.S. had begun. State of emergency declared in Texas and Louisiana. Authorities urged residents to evacuate immediately and follow emergency response plans. August 24, 2017, Day 8, the point of no return. By the 8th day, Harvey had strengthened from a Category 1 hurricane to a Category 3 hurricane. Wind speed, 180 kilometers per hour. Hurricane diameter, 550 kilometers. Now the inevitable disaster was beginning. At this moment, experts had only one question left in their minds. Would Harvey grow even stronger? The answer was yes. And for Texas, there was no turning back anymore. On August 24, 2017, Hurricane Harvey intensified to Category 4, marking the beginning of one of the most devastating natural disasters in U.S. history. Authorities in Texas and Louisiana ordered mass evacuations, and then President Donald Trump declared a national emergency in response to the growing threat. By August 25th, Harvey made landfall in Texas, bringing sustained winds of 215 kilometers per hour. The city of Rockport was among the hardest hit areas. Within hours, 30% of the city was completely destroyed. More than 10,000 homes collapsed, leaving thousands of people homeless. Oil refineries and industrial facilities suffered severe damage, adding to the economic impact of the storm. Rockport's mayor issued a dire statement, saying, "We are facing an unprecedented disaster in our city's history." However, the worst destruction was yet to come. On August 26 to 27, Harvey reached Houston, bringing unimaginable levels of rainfall. A record-breaking 1,270 millimeters of rain fell in just 2 days, making it one of the most extreme rainfall events in U.S. history. Within hours, Houston was underwater. More than 100,000 homes were severely damaged, hundreds of thousands of vehicles were submerged, and over 250,000 residents lost power. Between August 28th to 30th, Harvey continued its devastation across Louisiana and coastal Texas. Entire towns were evacuated as floodwaters continued to rise. More than 50,000 people lost their homes. Around 1.5 million people were left without access to clean drinking water. The U.S. National Guard launched large-scale search and rescue operations. As August turned to September, Harvey slowly began to weaken, but the destruction it left behind was far from over. Between August 31st and September 2nd, Harvey was downgraded to a tropical storm, yet rivers continued to overflow, leading to ongoing flash floods. Tens of thousands of people remained in emergency shelters, unsure if they would ever return home. Finally, on September 3rd, 2017, Harvey weakened into a tropical depression over Missouri, officially marking the end of its reign of terror. But for millions of people, the true struggle was only just beginning. The devastation left behind by Harvey total economic damage, $125 billion. Total death toll, 107 lives lost, homes completely destroyed, 17,000 homes damaged, 204,000 hospitals damaged, 13 schools affected, over 500 people without electricity, over 300,000 people without clean water. Over 1 million, Harvey became one of the deadliest and costliest hurricanes in U.S. history. The rebuilding process would take years, but for those who lost loved ones, homes, and entire communities, the scars would last a lifetime. Houston's mayor summed up the tragedy in one powerful statement: Harvey wasn't just a hurricane, it was a tragedy.